Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today we're playing some more Standard. This is a deck I kind of saw some Pioneer versions of and wanted to try to port it to Standard. But it's like a Rakdos artifact sack deck. So it's Oni-cult Anvil. So I've seen some folks play around with this card, different kind of combinations like vampire packages, stuff like that. So it's a 2-mana artifact. Whenever one or more artifacts you control leave the battlefield during your turn, you create a 1/1 construct token, and you can only trigger it once a turn. You can sacrifice an artifact and basically drain and gain one. So it's kind of an aristocrats artifact. Like, you're not going to win in one attack, but you're going to nickel and dime your opponent. So pairing that with meathook as a way to drain out your opponent, very similar effect. So what we have is like cheap creatures. I twitched for the learn package, plays well with meathook. We have Shambling Gas, notably makes a treasure, something we could sack. We have Voldaren Epiture, which makes a blood token, which is something we could sack. So just a lot of incidental ways to make the tokens. We have Blood Tithe Harvester. This is another way to create a token that we can then sack. Then it's also removal on a stick. We have Deadly Dispute, which again makes more copies of treasure tokens. So just a lot of incidental ways, card advantage, stuff like that. Then we have a couple new cards as well. We have Experimental Synthesizer. I had this up to 4. I went down to 3 so when it enters the battlefield, you can play the top card of your library. Our deck's very low to the ground. If you look, it's basically 1 and 2 mana spells, so it's pretty easy in a sense to chain stuff together. But also on the flip side, like sometimes I was just casting and it wasn't doing too much. Most of the time you're sacking it as opposed to sacrificing it for the ninja side or the samurai side. But when it leaves the battlefield, you also get the effect. Then we have Voltaic Surge, which when you sack so it's shock for a creature or a planeswalker, but if you sack an artifact, it deals 4 damage instead, which scales nicely. So you can like sack this, get the value, sack a blood token, anything of that nature. And then we have Dockside Chef, which is very similar to Skullport Merchant, just being 1 mana instead of 3 mana. Doesn't make a treasure when it comes in, but gives us a bigger body like that. So kind of a different angle of attack. Excuse me. And then like the Deadly Dispute works well with obviously Eye Twitch, stuff like that. A couple Blood Chief's Thirst, because I found the aggro matchups a little tough, like mono white. You need to take Thalia off the table. So just kind of some removal in that regard. Otherwise, what I'm trying out, I'm trying out an Agadeems. It's a 21 land package. We have hives, we have dens, we have one of the return creatures, one of the make tokens creatures. So kind of playing along the edges with that. I might try out Skullport Merchant instead of this. It does increase our curve. So there's like little edge cases that we can play around with as we play some more games with it. I think I'm like 2-2 with it. I haven't had a huge sample size. It's been fun to play. Pull up the stats, but the sideboard's really just because we make treasures, we can play off color. So like Sciences to fetch a land, Teachings if we need card advantage off the treasure, Fumes to sack, Start from scratch to blow up like Chariot or something, Breach for any of the enchantments, Pest Summonings, and then Mascots. I didn't go like 2 Mascots because it's harder for us to hit 7 mana in this deck, but give this a shot. I think I'm like Diamond 3-ish. Let's give this a go, see how it plays out. Standard best of 1. I was playing against an Alchemy version of this. They went up to like post board. I don't know if they had it main board, but post board they had the big the big vampire, the 5/6 that makes treasures. I'm 2-2 with this, but the games have been close. I lost like 1 game by like 1 life, which was kind of annoying. Like you do everything and you're 1 life off. This hand looks super reasonable. So really, in your opener, you want either Meathook or you want the Anvil, ideally both. Those are kind of the engine cards for the deck. This can sack itself too, which is kind of cool. I can't remember the wording on Skullport if it lets you. So we'll do this. So I'm gonna probably... It's a little annoying just it being 2-3, because I would normally meathook that. So I'm gonna get sciences here. I was hoping to naturally draw land, which we didn't. So part of the reason why I'm a little bit more inclined to play a lower land count in these decks is just your ability to draw so many cards. You have this, you have the eye twitch that can fetch, you have things to make treasure tokens, so we're still, even if we miss a land next turn, okay? Kind of annoying. So let's go eye twitch. I have to decide here if I want a voltaic surge, sack the treasure token. I think I'm gonna do this first. It's a little annoying with the paladin class because I can't do it next turn. Probably just get summonings. Jeez, I needed a line drop there. So they could paladin, that gets it to 3-5. They could only do 4 there. A little awkward, we couldn't hit the line there. I could block on the ground. It's the flyer that's a bit of an issue, because even next turn I could just do these. I could dockside. That's annoying. Because like now these are going to scale pretty quickly. Okay, so that's actually pretty good. I think we're doing this and then just deadly disputing. I need to try to get ahead on lands. That's annoying. So I need to do this because I need the treasure and I need lands. This game's not going our way. So 5. Kind of annoying. Okay, so I could pest summonings. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're a turn off of that. The problem is they're getting 2 counters per turn. So I think we go double Blood Tithe this turn. And then I can sack a treasure. Like, I can do this to kill one of these. I can do this to try to hit a land next turn as well. We have some options. Oh, that's just going to get double strike. Dup. Just a little awkward there. And that's... we missed lands a couple games. We drew a lot of cards, but we just couldn't hit what we needed to. Without the flyer there, I don't think... Because even with meathook, it doesn't make a difference. Because they do the pump, and then it gets double strike anyways, so... The second paladin class there was a little rough, because I could have blocked, soaked up 4 more points of damage. We needed the treasure, though. We weren't going to win without the treasure, so... It happens. So here, I think we lead on eye twitch. Actually, no, we lead... Okay. Well, opponent couldn't put together a hand. I think it's right the amount of lands we were playing. Because, like, we're not usually going to have to meat hook for, like, 5. It's just opponent had all the kind of anthem effects and then just was scaling. They were basically putting... We could play a land a turn or, like, a treasure a turn. Even ramping, virtually ramping, but they were getting ahead just by multiple counters. Sounds good. Mono green's a bit tricky because they do have trample. Like the 4 toughness one's a little rough. We just take our value here. Yeah, we're gonna have to try to meat hook here. So a couple decisions. I can do this and this. If they try to fight, that leaves me... I can do this, get another treasure, hopefully find another land. That's probably what we're going to do this turn. I want to get this meat hook out as early as possible. Just create a treasure here. Pack leader. They actually haven't played much to the board. So I think this turn I'm going to play this. Play this. And then what we do is we sack this, we drain them, and then we get another 1/1. And then just kind of go from there. So now we're going to start trying to nickel and dime them. Fine. I take 8 here. So I'm gonna hold this because it's another treasure for me to sack. Oh no, not this time. So go full control. Let's attack first. Full control. X4. Oh, no, no, cancel. So you want meat hook to go down, trigger on the stack. And then sack it. Yeah, we got the extra value. Just trying to think through like what my next play is going to be as well. So the opponent ramps here, but we're gaining a lot of life back. So for this turn, I'm going to go Blood Tithe Harvester, because next turn I can play out my hand. This also being a 3/2 is not bad. This lets me have 2 treasures to sack here. Sculptor's fine. So they're gonna make a 4/4 on their turn. So I do have the option to like so we can only activate that as a sorcery. So what I can do here, we'll do sack that, kill that. To be honest, I thought that was sacking the treasure. And now we can start trying to draw cards. Our meat hooks are going. So they make a 4/4, but we're back up to 15. Now this game's going a lot smoother. Opponent went kind of all in on that turn. Probably wasn't expecting a meat hook, but I feel like at this point should almost anticipate it. Do I care about this? Probably not. It's only 4 damage. I can gain it back on my turn. So here, sack here, get some drains off. If I sack here, I drain 2 more, but sack Eye Twitch here. Going to get... It's probably just necrotic fumes at this point. Alright, sick. So... Eye Twitch number 2. So if I sack this, it's draining 2. Sack this, it drains 1. So we're 1 off, so we win next turn. So it's like a lot of math with this deck. It's the only thing. Voltaic has been really good. They draw the snakeskin. It's fine. They basically need to do 12 damage to us in 1 turn, and then I have life gain. Oh, they could have got inscriptions here. Yeah, it's a top deck. That's fine. Damage comes through, that dies. Just get sciences. So do this. Get another red. We make 3 tokens now. So I could drain, that should be enough. Got there. Some assembly required, but that felt pretty sweet. I've been like extremely medium on the harvesters, like the 3/2s. Like in all these games, it doesn't really do much. I think I'd rather 21 lands. Could go up another land. Seem to have been struggling a bit. Because the eye twitch doesn't make a treasure, so maybe we go up a synthesizer. Gives me another artifact to sack. Up. That's virtually a land when we think about it. I honestly don't think we're getting to mascot. I'm gonna go up another sciences. How many lines is that? 21. What's my split of colors? 27. 2 red. We're heavier on red, so let's go up another black source. 22 lines. Because we're stumbling just a tad. Like, we have a lot of things we can do with our mana, so I don't mind it. Let's try that. Let's run this one more time. And this is like, it's new standard. We're gonna be playing around. Like, these numbers aren't exact. I'm looking at like Untapped. There's not really deck list for this. There's no big tournament, so there's no prescribed best deck right now. Mono white is overwhelmingly popular, which is odd. Like, the mono white version we lost to is quite a dated version, actually. Opponent goes first. Sure. Composition of our hand. We have a lot of lands, so Agadeem's probably a spell. So Synthesizer is basically 2 spells next turn. Or 2 draws. Should we like it? So I'm going to go Synthesizer first, because in case you hit a land, if they want to counter this, they can. I think we're just going to meathook here. Okay, that's fine. Pass the turn. Meathook's good enough of a card that, like, especially this mono blue deck, they're gonna have to respect that. So, sack Synthesizer, get a card draw, create a token. Cast Eye Twitch. So they could have negate. I think we're still gonna try to jam this. Okay, it's fine. Because next turn I can just start Den of the Bugbearing. Cool. You can't play mono counter spells in a format with like mono white and stuff. It just doesn't really work out in that regard. You end up just kind of tanking yourself. Alright, up to Diamond 2. So taking a look at the deck itself, this isn't a kind of quick just jam the stuff. There's a lot of little lines, sequencing, so it's a fun deck if you enjoy kind of like the puzzle element. There's so many micro decisions with like your 1-drops being so plentiful, what you play out, sequencing, stuff like that. Could see maybe Village Rites coming in, but I really like the Blood Chief's Thirst, just kind of in that spot, like just a 1-mana answer to a lot of the aggressive decks we saw. We got run down by a 1-mana flyer that just got out of control too quick. But that's kind of the deck there. Let me know what you think if you've been playing something similar, and we'll catch you next time. If If you can, as always, if you do enjoy this video and the content, drop a like and a comment. If you haven't done so already, consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great one.